What's up, people? I'll give it a few moments. I'm gonna see if anybody's wanting to discuss. I'm gonna see if anybody. I'm gonna see if anybody wants to discuss the commentary from last night, or just some interesting conversations about uh, men and women. Last night, the main topic was women cheat just as much as men, never remorseful, and they always shift the blame. Like I want to hopefully get some women to come up and discuss this topic. Let me get my stream. What's up, Miss Kelly? How are you today? Um, Last night was a really good show. I mean, the reason for I say that it was a good show is because we always have a good show because we shed light. Um, I think in a particular space that people don't really like. We give genuine information. Like we're not trying to uh, be trending. Like that's not what we're doing. We're like young. We're some young men that are looking to provide clarity on relationships. I'm doing good. I appreciate it. Thanks for. I mean, you. I appreciate you in this space. Um, I watched you in a. I think it was you, Ricky, and I think it was on cruise season. Y'all did a wonderful job in communicating. Um, relationships and how they should be. The reason why I say that and how they should be because right now most people would say there's so many different ways to have a relationship, which is true. But do you want one that works? Right. Um, and what's interesting is it's really weird to me. All right, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna say it like this, and then I'm gonna go back to something else. What's weird is the current people of the generation. They'll say something like, you know, um, you're you're out of touch. They'll say that to me, right? Or they'll say that to Ricky. They'll say that because I was married and he is married, or they'll say that to Chicago Rilla, who is married. So it's weird. They'll say, you're married, so you're out of touch. Like, you don't understand. Well, there are some principles that really just don't go away, that are always going to remain the same. How you treat somebody, uh, that's not something that has to change. Like the way that you treat somebody in the old days and in the new days is something that you can always put your hat on. So, for example, if you're a guy and you want to be married, what type of leadership do you fall under? Right. So is it Allah? Is it God? Is it Buddha? Like what type of leadership? For me, it's Christ all day, and I can look to His example of what I need to do as it looks like to be a servant of His, and also to look to my wife or help my wife to as I'm a servant leader. And so dudes don't really know how to dudes don't do that. And then on the other end, women don't understand, not all women, but it looks like most women don't understand that they don't need to be combative with a man. Meaning if if a man is if you disagree with him, you can disagree with him without getting into the yelling match or getting into the passive aggressiveness or the I mean, some women will just do the silent treatment. However, in communicating with a man is more likely to listen to a woman when she is speaking softly and when she is speaking from a position of humility, if you will, even though she could be upset. Like, I'm not saying women don't get upset, but you can be upset and still be popular, right? I mean, I've had arguments with women before, and me, I'm not a yeller. Okay, I mean, I can, but I'm also, I'm also this type of guy that in an argument that at one point in time I was trying to win. You know what I'm saying? And so I would say things that were not conducive to the conversation. So there are ways in which you should be able to communicate effectively. So what I'm saying is that there is a disconnect between men and women, right? And it seems as if neither is is really interested in trying to build. Yeah, interested in building because in a relationship and a partnership, however you want to look at it, for the woman that says I want a partnership, well, even in a partnership, you're gonna have to do give and take. And the man that's in the relationship, if you are since you are the leader, you're still gonna have to do a give and take. Like there is sacrifice when it comes to being in relationships. And by the way, you know what I'm saying, if y'all haven't checked out my homies on their pages, you got Shannon, you got Chicago Rilla, uh, Jr. of course, King Rio, um, and Ricky and myself, of course. Check them out. Like they doing some good things on their page. I'm interested in having conversations with people about this topic. So this is what I think. Let me go back. Okay, so if you are here for the first time, I'm humble dad. What do I do? Well, in these YouTube streets, what I do is I like to talk about I like to talk to dads. I like to talk to dads about um, how is it that they are raising their kids and how do they even what advice would they give to young dudes that wanted to be a dad. And so that's what I typically do. And so I also um, I'm on the Lapeef network and I'm on the King Talk edition. And what we do on King Talk is we provide information like I said in the beginning, we provide information to people, you know, um, you give us a Josh. Um, we give game to young dudes as well as women. Like we really care about specifically the black community and coming together to build something great. And for years on years, I don't know how we're going to get it corrected, but for years and years, there has been it has been one sided, and I didn't know that until I got into these spaces and started seeing that you know most women feel like um, that they have it really bad, right? And some of them do. Like I'm not taking away that some women do have it bad, but as it relates to relationships, women have come to a thought process of um, that their value is connected to their education and how much money they make. Right, that has been the lie that has been told. So and it's really is it really their fault? No, not what you learn. It's not your fault. But being able to learn and get more information or get new information to go against what you just heard, then that's your responsibility. Uh, like for me, when I struggle with or if I want to be a better husband, if I want to be a better uh, father, if I want to be a better worker, the information that I had up until that point may have been good, but if I get new information, then I should be open minded enough to say, okay, will this information help me become better, or will it hinder me, or will it keep me stagnant? And then oftentimes, what is going on is that as it relates to relationships, uh, women and men think that the information that they currently have is right because of whatever the case may be. And then even though they may get new information, they are not willing to change their perspective. Case in point, specifically, black men want uh, women to be submissive to them. Well, submissiveness, if you're looking at it from a scriptural standpoint, is only given as a directive to the wife. I'll say it again. Men are looking for women to be submissive to them when that is only reserved in the scripture. In the scripture, it only communicates that to the wife. So, men, when you say, well, she's not submissive to me, well, is she your wife? Or is she someone that is aspiring to be, you're aspiring to have her be your wife? Because otherwise, why is she submitting to your leadership when your plans are not to lead her towards marriage to build a family? I'll say that again for you. That's one of those Ricky Williams pauses. Young men, why would a woman submit to you when you are not looking at her as wifey? When you're not looking to court her in that particular manner? Why would she do that? How does that make sense? Should she be feminine? Yes, women should always be feminine. But why do you know? Submissiveness simply means, well, submissiveness means that I'm giving my will over to you. And so, why would a woman need to be submissive to you if she is not your wife or going to be your wife? Shout out to Danny. Submissive is for wife. Yes, absolutely. So for women, man, submissiveness, you have connected it to control. You have literally taken apart the definition to create your own definition. Women, are you ready to be a wife? Are you currently in the mindset to say, I am willing to give uh my will to this man? And if the answer is yes, then what problems are you having? What problems are you having? Is it on you, or is it on him for you to be submissive? The woman will say, well, every man doesn't deserve my submissiveness. That's true. That is true, right? However, when you're in a relationship, is your desire to be married to him, or are you just dating to just date, right? Which I don't understand that. Maybe when I was younger, but then as I look back now, even as I was young, when I was younger, I got married at 27. I started thinking about being married around like 24, 25, and I didn't even have good examples of marriage. You know, I didn't have any. I didn't have. Give me one moment. I didn't have any examples of marriage that were good. So for me, I had no idea of what that was going to look like. I just knew that I wanted to be married, and I knew that it was important for me to get it right. And so, what did I do? I started looking for people that had good marriages. And so, when I was like, okay, well, I'm scared of this thing, but this is something that I see will be valuable to me. And if I want to have kids, then I got to be married. Now, I can't say that I did, praise God that there was some situations that I could have been a baby daddy, right? Um, but I'm glad I wasn't because I can literally see what I did that was not correct um, from that particular perspective, raising, um, uh, not being in the house and raising a kid. This is what's interesting. Let me see if I can do this. This is what's interesting. I'm gonna put this in the chat. If you want to come up and chat, here is the link. Um, I think I lost my point, but I'm gonna get to the statement about do women um, accept accountability. I really would like for um, a young lady to come up on the screen and talk to me about that. Let me see if I can. I put it over here in the chat. Um, sorry about that. So, men and women. Oh, this is what it was. Women have a hard time. Women have a hard time selecting the right man. Men are not really ready to select, in my estimation, because if you're ready to be married, it seems as if you would prepare yourself to be married, as opposed to trying to figure it out when you get into the dating scene. That's just me. Now, women struggle in this from this perspective. Uh, I was talking to, and I said this last night on the show. Uh, Women put their hierarchy of needs kind of out of sync when it comes to finding a man. I'll say what I mean by that is not all. This is most of, and you can tell with what's going on in the world that a woman has to be physically attracted to the dude before she finds out anything more about him. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want to be attracted to that individual, but there are other ways that a man could be attractive. Okay, because if he is the main thing that a woman wants, this is what she the main thing that she aspires to have is providing and protection. Providing and protection. Those are the main two things that women talk about they want from a man. And that makes sense. That's what men are designed to do, right? So if a man is not that attractive, but he can provide and protect you, then why is it so important for him to be over the moon attractive? You got to help me with that one. Okay. because when the guy comes to you at the, I don't know, wherever you may be meeting, um, hey Miss Lady, how you doing? And he's polite, you're a beautiful young lady. You mind if I sit down and we have a conversation? If he off the bat doesn't fit your sexual need, desire, you automatically write him off. And that dude could have been the one that put you in a place that you never would have thought was possible. Men, you want a woman that is fit, feminine. What is it? Fit, feminine, and friendly. What type of leader are you? What type of leader are you? How do you set the tone in your relationship? Are you passive aggressive? That's trash. You should be direct. If there's something that you like or don't like, say it in a way that will be received well. Right? Men, you are leaders, yes, but if you're a follower of Christ, then you're a servant leader. So you should be looking to see what it is that uh, what is her language in which she is appreciating these things or will appreciate the things that you do for her. Um, it's oftentimes this is what I'm seeing, and it's unfortunate that guys think this is what we talked about last night. Guys think that if they're paying for dates, then that means that the woman should be ready to give up the goods. What? So then you're not looking for a date with a woman, are you? If you want to pay for pleasure, you know what that is. You can get that other places. You can get that on the corner. If you want to pay to play, so to speak, you can get that on the corner. What you're paying for is you're investing really in you're investing your money as well as your time with this young lady to see is she worth more of your time and resources, because you have just devalued intimacy. You've reduced intimacy to money, and you might as well have that as you might as well be a prostitute or a sex worker. If that's what you want to be, that's fine. I'm just saying. And if that's what you want, man, then that's already out there. So when a young man says, I'm paying for all of this, I'm providing. That's what he's saying. I'm paying for these dates. When you gonna give it up? Your mind is backwards. Your mind is throw it off, really. Throw it off, in my opinion. Because if you think like that, that's what you're saying. That but then if you knew that a woman was doing that because of the money, because you pay for dinner, then you would look at her differently anyway. You would you would yourself devalue her, and men know that. Like that for the most part, women that sleep with dudes early, you don't value them the same. But dudes are out here saying, I pay for dinner. Why can't you give me the draws? Would you be cool with that if a dude was like that to your daughter, to your mom? Would you be okay with that, dudes? So got it backwards, man. Got it twisted. So nevertheless, let me finish off like this. And if anybody want to come up, let me know. If anybody have something they want to say, Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. You know, if you're on Facebook, please make sure you go onto YouTube and like it. Go onto YouTube and like the video. Um, do women accept accountability? Do women accept accountability? Last night we talked about women cheat just as much as men, but they're never remorseful. Uh, the one time that I remember getting cheated on when I was in college, she was not remorseful. She blamed it on me. She blamed her cheating on me. Was I arrogant dude? Yes. I didn't cheat on her though. Did I treat her bad? Not that I'm aware of. But she felt that because how I was treating her, she should go cheat on me when she could have just broken up with me. Why not just break up with me? You know what I'm saying? And she never took accountability for that. She never said sorry. Never said sorry. You know, so that's the one situation that I'm aware of. Fast forward, I'm talking to young women. Anytime I talk to or women just in general, anytime I talk to women about what women are struggling with and why they may not be married or why they may not get married or why they are having a hard time in the dating scene, they always say, "What about the man?" We gotta talk about you. Like as a supervisor, um, I trained hundreds of people on how to sell over the phone uh, when I was a young dude, and you would have to come into the office, and I would talk to you about, calls that you had, and some people they would accept the coaching that I was giving them. They would accept it. Okay, they would accept this coaching. Then there was others that would say, well, that customer, like, they were just off. The customer just was tripping. Or they may say, y'all just gave us some bad leads. It's not me, it's these leads you gave us. That's the reason why we're not able to close deals. We keep calling the same people over and over and over and over again. I said, but which call? Such as sales. And then they would and this would happen. Excuse me, this would happen all the time. Now I'm not gonna say that I remember if it was men or women. I'm just saying in general that there was hardly accepting of blame that there was something they were doing incorrectly. So you fast forward to now when I'm talking to women about why they're having issues in relationships, they tell me they'll say that I really don't know what I'm talking about uh, because I was married, I wasn't single that long, I'm out of touch. This is 2022, as if a year changes the dynamics of how a relationship works. Please stop saying, well, in 2022, like, what? Why do y'all say that? The year doesn't determine how things work. But when I tell them, they always say, well, what about the man? Well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's that man, right? And so, women, you have to take accountability for why you are single. You may have to go get counseling to get that answer. You got to accept that. You got to accept when you're wrong. That's how you grow. If you don't accept that you have a flaw, and then how can you work on the flaw? That makes absolutely no sense. And then to be in a relationship and you don't ever think you do anything wrong, or the majority of the time you don't do anything wrong, you don't apologize. Women definitely, and as a whole, have a hard time saying the words "I'm sorry" or "my bad." They do. They'll do something like fix your plate, but they're not gonna say "I'm sorry," right? And if you disagree, please come holler at me. The link is in the description. I'm sorry, not in the description, but the link is in the it's in the chat. So women do not typically take blame for what it is that they did. I was talking to a young lady, and I was telling her that men look at beauty more when they're chasing women, when they're looking to court a woman. And I said women should not do the same thing. Why not? I said, well, men and women are not the same. You agree with that, right? Had a hard time kind of pinning that one down. I said, well, what a man is looking for in a wife is not the same things that a woman should be looking for in a man. But what's crazy is, as Ricky said last night, women currently are looking or wanting to be what it is that they look for in a man. Let that make sense. Women want to have lots of money. They want to have they want to have lots of education, thinking that those two things will put them in a position of gaining a man, or a good man, or a solid man, or a dope dude, like a really high value guy. When if the core things such as you being fit, feminine, friendly, and peaceful, if those things are not a part of your makeup, then your degree, your money don't make no difference to a dude. Like, it does not. Not like real dudes. I mean, there are some dudes that want you to have something, but the majority of men are not looking for the woman that has money. They're not. We're not. Because we're looking to be providers anyway. And the way that most women operate with their money, it's not like you really giving it to the man or using it for the expenses in the relationship, is what I would say. You may spend some money on him, but as it relates to bills within the house, the mortgage and all of those, the mortgage, the water bills, all of that jazz, you know. So, but nevertheless, I digress. Women, hold yourself accountable. Older women, hold yourself accountable. Mid-aged women, hold yourself accountable. Young women, hold yourself accountable. Don't say, what about men? That literally takes the onus off of you. Focus on you, women. Okay? And you will see you'll see a difference if you learn how to accept accountability for where you are in life. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to humbledad.life, pick you up some merchandise. Around a little bit, right? Go to Humble Dad Legacy, and follow me there on Instagram. I post a little bit about my little bitty ones. Um, yeah, and what else is there? Just received my doctorate degree, for those that don't know. Well, I passed my dissertation. I'll say it like that. And I'm in the works, just finishing up, hopefully to graduate. Well, not hopefully, I'll be graduating this year. What else we got? And just working on a couple different things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl Kendra. She dope. Shout out to my 4 kids. They dope as well. And they keep me going. And I appreciate them. to all those out there. I appreciate you for coming in today and rocking with me. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.